Hello, everyone. Today, we'll introduce the CT-5112 module. The CT-5112 is part of ODOT C-Series Remote I/O. It's a high-speed counter module with 2 channels. Both channels support high-speed pulse collection for incremental encoders. This here is the CT-5112 module. Next, we'll pair it with our CN8032L module and use Siemens S7-1200 to demonstrate the wiring setup and provide a step-by-step usage guide.
This is the wiring diagram for our CT-5112. It's a 2-channel encoder input. The top one is for one channel, and the bottom one is for the other. Each channel connects to the A, B/Z signals of the encoder, plus G and D, and 24V. At the bottom, there's one DI input and one DO output. The second channel has the exact same wiring as the first one. Now, let's go over how to use the software. Our platform is Siemens 1200. First, open the TIA portal and drag the CN8032 network adapter into the configuration. Then, find CN8032L in the Profinet IO ODOT and drag it in. Next, select the interface, double-click on the network adapter, and find the CT-5112. Drag it into the window. Now, find the submodules and drag the output module onto the main page. Right-click and choose the 2-channel encoder. Open the details page and select the encoder output type as sync. Next, we'll edit and download the settings. We'll select Online to monitor the module data from the monitoring table. I've already set the software address in advance, so you can see the encoder's current reading. It's already running. When we rotate the encoder, the module's reading starts changing. Now, we set the position and choose Q2.1. Q2.1 works on the rising edge. Its role is to write the set value into the current base value. This can be used to reset the counters and write the desired technical value into the current one. Let's try writing 100. Since it works on the rising edge, we first set its value to 0, then set it to 1. Next, we write the value 100, and then set the value to 1. Now, 100, 100, 100 is written in just like that. After that, we reset it to 0. Once it's back to 0, let's check out the output module. There's one output unit. Now, let's go offline with the PLC and check out the output modes. It has 4 options. The first one is normal output. The second one is output when the comparison value is reached. The third one is output between the comparison value and the upper limit. The fourth one is output between the comparison value and the lower limit. For normal output, it will continuously output for a set period. By default, the program sets it as unique. To make it easier for everyone to see, I've set the value to 1000 milliseconds. So, it'll output for 1 second continuously. Now, let's change the output to output when comparison value is reached. Next, we click online and first write the comparison value of 1000. Then, we write the output control and switch to the encoder. It will output for 1 second when the value reaches 1000, whether it's in forward or reverse. As long as it hits 1 second, the output will last for 1 second. First, click offline and select output between the comparison value and the upper limit. Let's change the upper limit to 3000, then click download and start monitoring. Write the comparison value first, then write the output control. Now, turn the encoder, and you'll see that the output will stay on as long as it's between 1000 and 3000. Since we set it to stop when the upper limit is reached. Once it drops below 1000, the output will stop. As long as the value stays between 1000 and 3000, the output will stay on. Now click offline, and select output between the comparison value and the lower limit. Same process, compile and download. Click to monitor, and change the lower limit to -3000. Click Edit, Download, Complete. And then monitor. Same process again, write the comparison value and output control. Since the program's value is now below 1000, we're just going lower. You can see that the value stays between 1000 and minus 3000, and the output will keep going. As soon as it goes above 1000, the output stops immediately. Let's click offline and change how the program counts. First, set it to stop counting when it reaches the limit value, which we'll set to 70. Next, reverse the limit value, and start counting from 0, then edit and download. Once the program value hits 3000, it will reset to 0 and start over. The same goes for negative values, click offline, and change it to reach limit value. In this case, when it hits the upper limit, it will flip to the lower limit. When it hits the lower limit, it will flip back to the upper limit. Click monitor, and pay attention, we'll continue with the next steps. When the value reaches 3000, it'll automatically flip to minus 3000. At minus 3000, it'll auto flip back to a positive 3000. Let's go offline and give it another try. When the value hits the limit, it resets to 0 as the base value. Let's move on to the next step. Currently, the value is 3000. Once it hits 3000, the program resets to 0. Then it starts counting again. Let's check the reverse direction. Negative values work the same way. That wraps up today's test. Thanks for watching.